see whether the person is confident, or even if you see that the person, how is his non-verbal behavior, or how is the expression on the face, you will first see what the person is wearing. So, there is a very nice saying that, you never get a second chance for first impressions. Once it is done, it is done. You cannot redo your first impression, right? So it's extremely important that when somebody sees you for the very first time, you should be presentable in a manner that it gives a positive feedback about you, even before you open your mouth to talk, even before you say an hello, even before you react or you smile. Arti, please switch on to the next slide. See, you can see that these people on the screen, they are waiting for the interview. So these are all candidates who have, dressed up very formally for the interview. This is also the time when the interviewer takes up the impression. You feel that, I'm just waiting, jo bhi mujhe impression jamana, I'm just going to go inside and I'm going to speak really well. I'm going to sit very nicely. The posture is going to be really straight. The kind of language I'm going to use is going to be very nice. But oftentimes we forget that we are being observed even while we are at the waiting room for our chance to, come. You can see all these five people who are sitting here. Out, see how they are all sitting. They are, one second person is wondering. First one is looking somewhere very. The last person looks very, feels or looks little, say, lost in thought. The two girls who are sitting between two men, you can see that one of the person is looking as if she is, observing the other girl. The other girl is looking quite composed, properly she's sitting and looks quite composed. The expression on her face looks composed. So this is also a place where you are first observed while you go for an interview. Arti, can we please have the second next slide? So here and before, when you compare the picture from before and now you actually feel that the interviewer's focus is absolutely on you. And this is when you start to get, conscious, and you try to answer things in a way that, you can impress these interviewers. But as I said, when you're waiting, that is also the time when you are being interviewed. Though it is unsaid, but you are being interviewed right from that time. Aarti, please move on to the next slide. Aarti, can you please move on to the next slide? When we talk about corporate grooming, the topic that we were going to take up today, the first one, there are three aspects that come under corporate grooming. The very first one is how to dress, the other is your personal hygiene, and the last one is the reflection of your personality. So corporate grooming is not only about how what kind of clothes you're going to wear, or how you're going to present yourself. It also talks about your personal hygiene. It also talks about how your personality gets reflected in front of another person. Aarti, can we please move on to the next slide? So when we talk about wearing clothes, how to do it right is what we are going to see. So very first thing we are going to see, that is formal wear. Then we'll move on to semi-formal or smart formals. They are known, semi-formals are also known as smart formals, and casual wear. Aarti, please move on to the next slide. So talking about Indian formals. Under formals, I have categorized it into two parts, that is Western formals and Indian formals. Indian formals. Ideally, it is expected that a person would wear a chudidar and a kurta and a dupatta, but because times have changed and we have evolved in even Indian fashion sense, the kind of clothing that you can see on the screen are the ones that you can wear. So, It is preferable that you wear light colors or solid colors like black and white. Any pastel color you can wear. The one that I have worn right now, you can see that I'm wearing a very pastel color, that is kind of a powder pink. And why you wear these colors? Why you wear light colors? Why everybody tells you and आपके दिमाग में this is fixed that I have to wear a white shirt? Why all light colors are preferred? The reason is whenever you see somebody wearing lighter colored outfit, it gives you a soothing effect to the eyes, and automatically it is one way of creating a positive impact on the other person. So whenever you're wearing a lighter shade, it does not mean that you look better or you don't look better, whether it is suiting your complexion or not. It's about when somebody looks at you for the first time, or you're formally meeting somebody, what kind of impression you want to give out to them. So if you're wearing something light, it gives a very positive vibe and it creates the atmosphere for a better conversation. Automatically, just by the way you dress, imagine what kind of impact you're creating on the other person. You can see these ladies wearing saris, right? So they have also, I've selected pictures where, though you can see the second last picture of the lady, the color is a little bright, but still it is soothing. It's not very I would say jatak color, which when you see at the person, you feel like wearing sunglasses. So this is about Indian formals. So churidar or plazo actually doesn't come under Indian formals, but your straight pants and churidars and saris, which are light colored cotton saris, the saris that are little, uh, you know, um, not the flowy ones, the ones which stay stiff, those come under your Indian formals. Aarti, can we please move on to the next slide? Talking about Western formals. Now you can see all these ladies, what kind of formals they are wearing. Even if you see the last lady, if she's wearing a skirt, because the skirt is a little shorter, she has worn stockings. The ideal length of a skirt, if you're wearing it for a formal wear, should be till your knees. When once you wear something above your knees, it becomes more like a casual or a party wear. So if you prefer wearing skirts, make sure that you wear something that is till your knees. If you're wearing pants, make sure that your pants that you're wearing and the top that you're wearing, whether it is a blazer. Here you can see the second lady, she's wearing a blazer which is like a set. So ये full set पहना है. She's also wearing the same color. It is coordinated. If you do not have coordinated clothes, it's absolutely fine. You can invest in a good navy blue colored blazer, or a dark blue colored blazer, or a black blazer, or a beige blazer that goes with almost everything. Nowadays we are in the generation of mix and match, so it is absolutely fine if you're mixing and matching stuff. But again, I would say that if you're wearing a beige blazer, make sure that you wear a dark colored pant, so it should be in contrast to what you wear. So that is about your Western formals. Now, when you saw Western formals and Indian formals, if you see everybody's shoes, they are covered from the back and covered from the front. So it is a closed feet shoes. आगे और पीछे से दोनों जगह पर shoes covered होने चाहिए. You cannot wear sandals under formal wear. It should be covered shoes. Aarti, please move on to the next slide. Talking about smart formals, again, I have categorized them into Indian and Western smart formals. If you see Indian smart formals, you can see the kind of dresses that they have worn. Because most of them are plazos, so it comes under smart formals. Nowadays, many of the MNCs allow you to wear smart formals rather than going to the traditional formal wear. So this is something which people wear, the smart formals. Though you can see one lady in between who's worn jeans and short kurta. Now, this is a very debatable thing over here. This comes under Indian smart formals, but can also be worn as a Indian casual wear. If you see the saris that they have worn, more than the saris, if you see the accessories that these ladies are wearing, they are little chunky. When you're wearing formal wear, you wear very light and dainty pieces of accessories, something that, if you could see my the necklace that I am wearing right now, it's a very thin necklace with a small pendant. The earring that I'm wearing right now, if you can see, it is a small earring. I am not wearing any kind of jewelry other than this. You can wear a watch, preferably. If not, it's okay to keep it, rather than wearing heavy bracelets, you could keep your wrist just like the way they are without wearing anything. If you're wearing rings, keep it very simple to very simple and thin pieces of jewelry, whether it is rings or whether it is even the nose pin. Girls who wear nose pin, make sure that you wear a very small dot and a very nice piece of nose pin. Everything that you wear under formal wear has to be strictly minimal. So anyway, today we are in the generation of minimal, where minimal makeup and nude makeup and everything is in trend. In the similar fashion, it's easy to remember that whenever you're going for a formal outing, it has the jewelry that you're going to wear is strictly going to be minimal. So that is the reason these ladies, those if you see the sari that the lady is wearing in the end, is a very soothing cream color, but still I have put her under Indian smart formals because of the jewelry that they are wearing, both the females. Aarti, can we move on to the next one? Talking about Western smart formals. Now, females, when it comes to Western smart formals, definitely you can wear dresses. But again, the dresses should be knee length, it should not be small. The one that I was talking about, see, in the first image, the color of pants and the color of blazer is different. This is a contrast matching. You can wear something like this. So these all outfits come under Western smart formals. Many companies just stated like that you can wear anything with a collar. So that also terms as a t-shirt, but it's preferably because collar clothes look more professional. That is the reason they ask you to wear collared clothes. Aarti, can we move on to the next slide? Talking about Western casual wear. So when we talk about Western casual wear, these are all the outfits that you can wear. You can see that these ladies generally, jeans, people do not prefer. Even if you wear jeans, you do not wear a t-shirt on top of that. You will wear something like a blouse or a top rather than wearing a t-shirt. If you see the second last image, that female is wearing a top, you can wear something like that. It's not a t-shirt. You can see the third image, she's wearing a shirt which is very casual. The last image is skirt and a t-shirt. You can wear something like this. Again, that t-shirt is a polo t-shirt. Wearing a round neck t-shirt, which you generally wear at home or you just wear when you go out with your friends, is extremely casual and it is not acceptable in an office environment. That is the reason it is always preferable that if you want to wear a t-shirt, you should preferably wear something that is polo necked or something that is one step ahead of a t-shirt, I would call that. Something that's a different material other than the very soft cotton in a t-shirt. So something like that. If you see the first girl, colors like red are generally not worn in a formal setting, but yes, under casual wear, if you can carry it well, you can wear it like this. Second image, you can see again pants and a t-shirt and a jacket is worn. So if you're wearing a t-shirt and a jacket, it is you can wear that, but a plain t-shirt is not preferable. Ati, can we please move on to the next slide? Talking about Indian casual wear, you can see that here most of them have worn jeans and they have worn a short kurta. So these all come under Indian casual wear. And you can see the kind of shoes that they are wearing. They vary. It's absolutely fine. Except for slip-ons or slippers. You should not wear slippers anywhere, anytime in an office setting. You can wear it at home, you can wear it if you're going out, it is your choice. But otherwise, when you're going in a formal setting, even if it is a casual day in your office, you're not supposed to wear slippers. You can see the second last image where the girl is wearing a white colored It is like an Indo-Western wear. So something like that is also preferable. Aarti, can we please move on to the next slide? Yes. Now, when we spoke about all the things that you wear when you are, going for an in the office, what kind of outfits you're going to wear, whether it is formal setting, whether it is a smart formal wear, whether it is a casual wear that you're wearing. Now, let's see what are the things that you should remember. Talking about your hair, I understand that gone are the days when people used to tie an amboda, or people used to tie a plait, or people used to tie their hair uh, into a different kinds of buns. But now everybody likes to keep their hair open. So if you're keeping your hair open, it should not, interfere on your face when you're interacting with anybody. Your hair should not come on your eyes when you're interacting with anybody. It should be set up in a way that it doesn't bother your entire face, because it will, restrict your facial expression, specifically in an interview. So if you want to tie it into a bun, no problem at all. But if you're leaving your hair open, make sure that it doesn't bother your face. Talking about the makeup, you can see the kind of makeup that I have worn today. I have lined my eyebrows lightly, I have worn kajal, and I have worn a very light colored lipstick. You can wear something like this. So your makeup has to be nude, and it has to be very, very minimal. You cannot select red. I understand many people prefer wearing red lipstick because it brightens your face. But in an office setting, especially when you're going for an interview, you just refrain from wearing any dark colors. Wear very light makeup, barely their kind, which gives you a very natural finish. Perfume. Now there is a question whether one should wear it or not. Definitely, if you are wearing, still I will tell you to carry a small perfume in your bag, because in a city like Mumbai, and when you travel for such long distances, till the time you reach the venue for the interview, you are all soaked in sweat, and nobody would like to sit for, say, 20 minutes or and half an hour smelling your sweat. So it's better that whenever you come down to the venue, just go to the washroom first, take 2 minutes, don't take a long time, just touch up and wear a light perfume. Perfume or cologne should not be strong. If you wear strong perfume, automatically uh, it will give a headache to the person who is interviewing you. So sweat or no perfume is also bad, and too much perfume is also bad. Body piercing. Now, in because we are from an Indian culture, many people do have a nose piercing. You have pierced ears, but those trendy piercings where you have this on the eyebrow, you have a piercing on the tongue, you have a piercing on the below the, I think, on the nose, here in the center you have a piercing, or any other piercings wherever you have it. If it is shown, if it is inside your clothes, no problem. But if it is outside, and if it is something that you can see, please make sure to remove those piercings and go. It gives a very bad impression about you. Nobody is judging you, but when you're coming to a formal setting, it is expected out of you that you dress decently. If you're following any band or any rock music, or you're following any kind of you know uh, trend, but that those trends should be kept outside the interviewer's cabin. You should remove all this and come. Again, coming to jewelry, I already told you, it has to be very, very minimal, light, and which complements your outfit. ऐसा नहीं पहनना है कि मुझे मोती के झुमके पसंद है तो मैं वो पहन के चली जाऊंगी. Even in an Indian setting, these small earrings go with everything. The ones that I've worn, आप Indian पहनो, आप Western पहनो, it is going to fit with everything and anything. So invest in something small. No, it will go with any kind of clothes that you're going to wear. Talking about suit, now those color coordinated or contrast combination that I told you, if you don't know how to have that combination, please do not attempt it. Wear something that is of the same color. where the top and the bottom is of the same color. If you're not wearing a blazer, it's absolutely fine. Wear a light colored shirt on a dark colored pant, preferably. That's the that's like a Bible rule that you follow. That the pants have to be solid colored and the top that you're wearing has to be light colored. Trousers and shirt got covered in that. Now again talking about shirts. Your shirt should not be open so much that your cleavage is visible. Your shirt should be decent enough that it buttons up till at least till here, till the place where I have buttoned my shirt. It's not necessary that you button it up like this, but if you want this, you can do this. If not, at least nothing should be seen. We are not going to impress people in some other way. We have to be, looking very decent and formal. The focus should only be on you, on what you speak and how you speak. It should not be on other things other than what you're going to tell them. Shoes. Again, the I did tell you what the shoes should be of what kind, but I didn't tell you about the color of the shoes. It's extremely important that you remember what color shoes you should wear. It should either be beige, black, or dark brown, preferably. If you're investing in shoes, you can keep those only for your formal wear. It is definitely going to help you great deal. Then coming to the next, that is a notebook. Definitely you should carry a notebook. It is it gives a good impression. Why? Because if they tell you something and you tell them, okay, I don't know about this, you can always take a note of it to remember and go back and read about it. It shows that you are very attentive and you really pay respect to what the interviewer is telling you. If you have questions, you can ask me about this now, because then I will start with the next part of our session. If anybody has any questions regarding dressing etiquettes, you can ask me now. Anjali, you're saying something? Or you can put it in the chat box. Yes, Shweta, you want to ask something? Shweta was raising her hand.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Shweta, please.
Ma'am, Misbah here from TYBMA.
Yes, Misbah. Yes,
So,
Misbah,
ma'am,
please.
if we are wearing a formal skirt, so is which color of stockings we should choose to wear under that?
See, Misbah, to be very frank, in India, there are very few companies which make I would say, skin colored matching stockings. They have a very, we don't have that awareness. And not many people in India wear stockings. So people generally buy a black one. I would rather advise you to go for something that matches your skin exactly. But in a local store, you will not find it. So you'll have to find it where exactly, in what kind of stores you can find such kind of stockings. If not, you can always go for a black stocking.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome. I think there is a question in the chat box. Uh, that last point about notebook, Bhavya also has the same question. At the time of interview, we can note the point. Actually, you cannot keep writing at the time of the interview, but definitely you can note down the pointers when you don't know something. For example, I am an interviewer, and I ask you a question that, um, do you know about, say, the current scenario of the vaccines, unavailability of vaccines, and you have really not been quite in touch. You know that vaccines are not available, or why the dates have gone forward. I think everybody is aware कि पहले 28 days में वैक्सीन लेना था, अब 84 days का हो गया. But ये क्यों हुआ है, you're not aware, and the interviewer is asking you this question. You can always make a note that, I have to go back and read this. That's all. But every time what they are saying and what you're replying, you cannot write that. That will be very disrespectful. But you cannot answer a question. At that time, you can write it down to go back and refer to it. Or there is something that the interviewer says is extremely nice. Once they finish the entire thing, after you finish, you can write it down. That's what I was referring to when I said you should carry a notebook. Okay, Aarti, I think we will move ahead. Ha, just see this very carefully. I don't want you to go undergo such kind of disasters. That is why I have put this on screen. अगर आपका मन करता है that I will go and experiment, before interview is not the time to experiment like this, where you yourself get stunned like this. If you can see the lady, when her hair was cut, she was being cut, she's looking so happy. And after the haircut and hair color, look at her expression. So this should not be your case. Yes, Aarti. We'll move on to the next slide. Now talking about personal hygiene. The very first thing that you have to remember is that your clothes need to be clean and ironed. You need not buy new clothes whenever you go for an interview, but definitely you have to wear clean, neat, and tidy clothes which are properly ironed. You need to shower and your hair needs to be clean and well groomed. Please do not turn up to the interview unshowered. भले ही आपको फ्रेश लग रहा है बट आप फ्रेश नहीं दिखते हो. You can see the difference before taking bath and after taking bath. If you don't trust me, अब तक आज कोई नया नहीं है तो you can try this, नहीं तो आप कल try कर सकते हो. Before taking bath, click a picture of yourself, and after taking bath, click a picture of yourself. Focusing on your face, you can see the difference of freshness on your face. Do not wear overpowering cologne or perfume. That is scent. Any kind of scent that you're wearing, it should not be overpowering. Is my voice breaking or am I
No,
clearly
ma'am.
audible?
No, ma'am. You are clear.
Bhavya, there is some problem, I think, on your end.
Yes, Bhavya, maybe there is issue from your network, but
Yes.
Deepika ma'am's voice is not at all breaking. You just check your network, beta.
Yes, and then moving on to the smell. Now, people have, I'm not saying that you smoke or you drink, but for anybody who engages in this kind of activities, you should not engage in those. Plus, you should not smell of those. Not only that, if you have eaten food and you have eaten garlic or onion, please make sure that you put a gum in your mouth that is strong mint flavored, so that the odor of that of this onion or garlic just subsides. Because when once you open your mouth after eating onion or garlic, the other person might faint. So it's extremely important that you carry strong mint when you're eating food, or you should avoid to eat food that involves these. Last but not the least, the facial hair that you have. Now this is for men, because facial hair they have is generally a beard. But for women, please make sure grooming your eyebrows is equally important. It structures your face. I'm not going asking you to go for a facial or go for cleansing or things like that, but these are prominent features. Your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, these are extremely prominent features on your face. This is what is most focused when somebody is talking to you. That is why you should take utmost care while you dress up about these features as well. That's the reason I said, see, in my case, I do not have very thick eyebrows. So I've lined my eyebrows nicely. The shape of my eyebrows are like that only. I've just lined them. In your case, you might have good eyebrows, but they are not shaped. You should get it shaped. Also, talking about waxing, if you engage in the keeping yourself waxed, or your whatever beauty treatments you go for, this is preferably that in the world of corporate today, waxing your hands, and if you're wearing a skirt, waxing your legs also plays a very very important role. As much as grooming your hair is, it is as important as tying your hair. So remember that if you're grooming yourself and if you already waxed, then before an interview, make sure that your hands and legs are clean. If you're wearing a skirt leg, otherwise at least your hands. Then, of course, we have already spoken about attire, that casual attire should not be worn and formal attire should be practiced. Aarti, can we please move on to the next slide? Before I move here, your nails also. If your nails are as big as mine, I don't know whether you can see them. Just a second. Can you see my nails?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
My nails are big, but they are extremely clean. If you see, there is nothing inside. But if your nails are big and they are not clean, again, it shows that you're very unhygienic. So it's better you cut your nails. And if you want to paint your nails, put a very light colored nail paint on your fingernails and toenails. Now, reflection of your personality. Talking about the reflection of your personality. Now, there are these common non-verbal mistakes that I would want to highlight, which shows that how your personality could be reflected otherwise. Why it is important to have eye contact? See, a study says that 67% fail to make eye contact, and that is why their personality sounds or looks really dull. Why? Because when they're talking, just look at me, just pin me and look at me, they'll be talking like this. So imagine that now the entire session I will be talking like this. Would everybody like? Would you like to look at
No.
me when I'm talking like this? Similarly, if somebody else is expecting you to give an answer, they would expect you to have eye contact with them. Secondly, 47% of people have extremely little knowledge of the company. Jaise, I think I was teaching in one of the classes, and just I was telling them that today it so happens that company doesn't give a lot of information of what vacancy they are having. But it is your duty to at least read about the company and go. If you go and they ask you, tell me something about our organization, what would you say? I have just come for the interview because I saw the package is really nice. You cannot give this kind of answers. You should have at least some knowledge about your company. You should have at least some knowledge about the company that you're going giving the interview, about the role that you're giving interview for. For example, it is say a simple role of a recruiter. Now you should study recruiter कौन होता है, वो लोग क्या काम करते हैं, what are the duties and responsibilities involved in that particular position. Also, which company you're planning to go to give interview. Okay, so this company, say for example, Reliance Industries. You should read about Reliance Industries, when it was formed, what is the current situation financially, how they are doing, and what different businesses they have, because Reliance is a conglomerate. Conglomerate means a company that has different kinds of businesses under it. So what different businesses Reliance has, something, things like that you should know. These are basics. Then 38 people don't smile. That is the reason also they get rejected. Imagine. And smile is absolutely free of cost. It does not take a rupee for you to smile. So always, it, of course, it does not mean that you keep smiling like a fool, but now and then you can always smile. A smiling face automatically radiates positivity to the other person. It is like you're sending positive energy from here to there. So again, smile, extremely important. Bad posture. Imagine somebody sitting like this. See, I'm slouching here. You can't see me actually properly. I'm slouching like this. If I was sitting straight, I would look like this. But if I slouch, I would look like this. So it's important that when you are going for an interview, you maintain a good posture. I'm not saying पूरे time आप ऐसे straight बैठो. It's not possible if you don't have practice. But at least don't slouch a lot. थोड़ा you can sit in a little relaxed posture. But it should, the how you sit also shows how confident you are. You won't believe, but it makes a lot of difference. The kind, what the posture that you are in has a makes a very big difference. Then coming to the statistics that show that first impressions are determined by the way you dress, act and walk through the door. 55% is on that. The quality of your voice, grammar, and confidence, that is 38%, and the words you choose to say is just 7%. Imagine 55% you will capture just when you walk through the door. And you can read what the survey says, that in a survey of more than 2,000 hiring managers, 33% claim to know whether or not they would hire somebody within 90 seconds. Just imagine. आपको देखने से 90 मिनट में पता चल गया उनको कि whether you should be hired for the job or not. So imagine, that is why the topic today is the power of image. It definitely holds a lot of power. Any questions so far?
No, ma'am.
Aarti will move on to the next slide. Now, what are the things that you should not do? So, majorly, you should not have little or no eye contact. You should not fidget. Now, fidgeting involves a lot of things. It involves biting your nails. If you have a habit, unknowingly, your hand will go to your mouth. You would not even understand or realize कि ये कब हुआ, कैसे हुआ. So very bad. It's a very horrible habit that you should really take care of. Or fidgeting with your hair continuously, doing something like this, or pulling your hair, or pulling some button from your shirt, or pulling some एक धागा निकला है आपके कपड़े से उसको अंदर डालना, things like that. Crossing your arm and sitting, folded hands, you should not sit. It gives a very bad impression. Leaning back, एकदम आराम से बिंदास रेस्ट करके बैठना, not at all advisable. Trying to camouflage your flaws means hiding your flaws. Now, say for example, when I sit, my tummy pops out. I am constantly concentrating on putting my tummy inside. अरे सामने वाले को कैसे दिखेगा? My fat is popping from here. Something is torn from there. When you sit only, पहले से you plan up and sit in such a manner that all your attention is not divided in those areas. Turning your body away. Somebody is talking to you and you're sitting like this. Imagine how you'll feel. How will you like if I'm sitting like this and talking to you? You might not like it at all. You will feel that why should I even listen to the person who is not interested to look at me? Putting things between you and the other person. This is a very bad habit which people do. They will come, they'll keep their bag on the table in front of them. But when you're at an interview, as I said, the entire focus of the interviewer should be on you and not on the things that are around you or besides you. That's why you should keep your bag down. That is best. Don't even hang it on the chair. Put it down so that even you are not distracted, neither is the other person distracted. Yes, Aarti, can we please move on to the next slide? Aarti? Yes. Now we are going to see that how are you going to be confident? Yes, can you tell me what makes you feel confident? कौन सी चीजें है जो आपको कॉन्फिडेंट फील करने में हेल्प करती है? बोलो. What are those things? Communication, body language, okay. Smile, good, Shweta. What else? Others? I understand this is lunchtime. Are you feeling sleepy? Positive attitude, eye contact, absolutely correct. Grooming, knowledge about the company, good vocabulary, okay. Okay, Aarti, can we move on to the next slide? Let's see how you can be confident. Now, you can build your confidence in 3 easy steps. You said about confidence only with the point of view of an interview. But I'm going to tell you that in order to have or build your confidence, it is not only about one interview. It is about your day-to-day life. What you practice, that is what showcases from your personality. So the very first thing that you should focus on is building your foundation. So you will have a support system of family, friends, or mentors who actually trust you, who give you those positive vibes and who support you when you're feeling low. They motivate you specifically. People who are going to motivate you, you will always feel better and confident with them. ऐसा होता है कि नहीं? Your group of friends, when you're meeting them, you're extremely confident. But when you're meeting somebody new for the first time, what is the feeling that you get?
Nervous. Become
You get
nervous.
nervous. Absolutely, you become nervous. Why are you becoming nervous? What is the reason? Because you don't know that person. You don't know what they're going to think of you. You're meeting them for the first time. You don't know what you're going to speak. जबकि इस ऐसे nervousness की जरूरत है ही नहीं, but still you feel all these things. So it is important that when you're trying to build your confidence, you first be in the uh, say in the group where it involves your family, friends, peers, and mentors who constantly motivate and support you. Okay? The next thing is to seek growth. Try to learn new things every single day. Whether if it is, in fact, even if it is learning something very small and simple, as good as learning a new word, it always adds. When you learn something new, you are giving encouragement to yourself that now you're becoming better. And see, if you want to build confidence, you have to work on yourself. You cannot just one of the days decide and think that फैमिली है सपोर्ट तो कर रही है ठीक है इनके साथ ही रहना है मुझे थोड़ी बाहर जाना है बट ऐसा तो नहीं है यू विल ऑलवेज हैव टू फेस अ न्यू क्राउड यू विल ऑलवेज हैव टू एक्सेप्ट न्यू challenges when you're going to go for a job. So this confidence is not going to help you only in the job that you're going to take up. It is going to also help you in your day to day life. There are going to be challenges in your personal life also. How you will tackle them, how you can take life a little easier, not stress too much, is all when you learn to build things little by little. So try to learn new things. And it might happen that when you're learning new things आपको शायद वो आप नहीं कर पाओ. हो सकता है that it's possible कि आपको नहीं करने हो या आप नहीं कर पा रहे हो. It's okay. Learn another new thing. It will only encourage you. And your failures, as they say, I know this sounds very cliched that failures are a stepping stone to success, but it is absolutely true. If you do not fail, you're never going to learn. You're never going to learn something new. या आपको एक ऑप्शन ए काम नहीं कर रहा तो ऑप्शन बी आप ढूंढोगे ही नहीं, राइट? थर्ड one is celebrate accomplishments even if they are small. छोटी छोटी चीजें, जैसे आपने प्रेजेंटेशन कॉलेज में दिया और वो प्रेजेंटेशन आपको टीचर ने बोला यू नो यू हैव डन अ वेरी गुड प्रेजेंटेशन. रियली if somebody is giving you even that kind of acknowledgement, appreciate yourself that really I have done a good job this time. I'm really proud of myself. Tell it to those people who would like to celebrate it with you. Tell your mother, tell your family, tell your friends who really appreciate all these things in you. And in time, it will help you to progress and do even better. And trust me, when you try to do all those things, you will actually see what difference it is going to make. But if you just listen, okay, सुनने में अच्छा लगता है, but you never implement it, it's not going to work out for you. Yes, Aarti, can we have the next slide, please? Now, how to face your lack of confidence? Everybody tells you कि confidence कैसे build करना है. We will see that how you will face lack of confidence. See, many a times things do not work out not because of only you. There are a lot of circumstances that makes you, fail in that particular thing. It's absolutely fine. You can always start new. Turns out you can actually practice self-confidence. Did you know that? Everybody told you that, self-confidence आपको अंदर लाने से ये चीजें करनी चाहिए, वो चीजें करनी चाहिए. कोई कोई ऑलरेडी कॉन्फिडेंट रहता है. आप ये सोचते भी हो that people are already confident. अरे यार इसको तो कितना अच्छा है. But you can actually learn self-confidence. Nobody comes confident from their mother's womb. Everything is learned with time. And time is it is never too late to learn. Start choosing or taking smaller risk. It will help you to perform better when there is a bigger event that comes. List the times you have done great work and also think about how you have done that work. छोटी छोटी चीजों में किसी ने आपको अप्रिशिएट किया है या किसी ने बोला है कोई चीज कि आप में ये अच्छी क्वालिटी है. Think about all those times that when people told you all this, why they told me all this, what did I do that time, that you know what happens, when you're feeling really stressed. This is something that really works. When you're feeling really stressed and you think about the good times, for a moment it helps you to relieve that stress. This is absolutely same. For a moment you will absolutely forget that there was any lack of confidence that was there in you. आपको ऑटोमेटिकली जब वो टाइम या वो मोमेंट जीने लगोगे, automatically that moment will become live in you, and that confidence at that time what you had will come in you. So try doing this. You should speak or try some new opportunity when they come. Recognize that as a woman, you might have more work to do than man. It is, though we don't categorize it like that, but it is absolutely true. There are times when you will feel that आपको ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ती है because of in some classes, previously when I taught, I also shared with them a nice ad. I will definitely share it in your group, that लड़के नहीं रोते. I don't know whether you've seen this ad. It is an initiative you must have seen because it was repeatedly played. कि तू लड़का है क्या, क्यों रो रहा है? So this is a mindset that was made. Yes, few of you all have seen since childhood. So even in when your confidence, when we talk about your confidence, this might cause as an hindrance. So
Deepika ma'am, we can play that ad.
yeah, Aarti, in the end we'll play after this.
Okay.
It's almost going to end. After this we will play. I will play the ad.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Then you should find confidence also in areas that you think can work out for you. Say for example, I am good at say making mehendi designs. Okay. And I'm not really good at speaking English, but for a moment when I'm feeling really low and dejected, I should go on to things that I like doing. So I draw it for some time, I feel nice. Then automatically there are thoughts that come into your mind. See, I'm not bad at everything, I just need to work on few things. Once you get this in your mind, it becomes easier for you to again step back and move towards building your confidence. Aarti, can we move on to the next slide? Any questions? Thank you so much for listening. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Others other than Janvi?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Did you like the session?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure, or you're just saying to flatter me?
No, ma'am. We really like the session.
Okay. I hope you will implement at least not all, but few of them now that you're going to go take up a job, going to give a lot of interviews, and going to join corporate life. I really hope that it helps you. Yeah, before you go, we will play the ad. Aarti?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
लड़के नहीं रोते.
Is it audible, girls?
Yes, Aarti,
Yes,
it's audible.
ma'am.
You can play it.
Stop crying, Rohan. Are you a girl? Boys don't cry. Okay? Are you a girl? Why are you crying? Don't behave like a girl. Boys don't cry.
लड़के रोते नहीं. मैंने बोला ना, लड़के नहीं रोते हैं.
लड़के रोते नहीं है.
ए, लड़के रोते नहीं हैं.
लड़के रोते नहीं. रोते यार।
ओ देवदास, छोड़ ना यार, लड़के ऐसे नहीं रोते।
सिखाते हैं कि लड़के रोते नहीं हैं। शायद बेहतर होगा अगर हम सिखा।
So this was a campaign by Vogue where they focused on that if we teach boys, rather than telling them not to cry, if we teach them that you should not make others cry, so that's better, because crying is natural, anybody can cry, it makes you feel light. So that's what I was talking about. Might be your journey in building your confidence is different, but it is definitely never too late. You can start. So as you don't have any questions, I would like to end the session. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening really very patiently and being a good audience and engaging in the conversation. Bye. Have
Thank
a
you,
good day,
ma'am.
everybody.
Ma'am, ma'am.
Thank you,
Welcome.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.
Ma'am, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.